Hi all. I'm making a new soap. It's part of my new line. I made one the other day kind of as a tester to see how I liked it. This one I'm going to put fresh, well they're not fresh, but they're freshly dried lavender in it. And I got this lavender from a wonderful lady across the street who is European. She's from the Mediterranean area in a small village outside of Italy. And she is just the sweetest lady. It's like walking in her backyard is like walking into another country. I mean, the flowers she has, her garden is just gorgeous. She gave me 3 great big bunches of fresh lavender that I've been drying kind of, so to speak, impatiently over the last few weeks. And the flowers are completely dried, and this is going to be part of a gift to her for giving me those beautiful lavender flowers. Now, I don't know exactly which kind she got, but I will say, as you can tell, the color on these lavender flowers are still very, very bright. I mean, you can see that the purple in them is just gorgeous. The scent that comes off of these is amazing. My whole front room where I've got them hanging and drying at is completely just filled with this lavender scent. So as soon as you walk in my house and through the front door, it's like relaxing and soothing, and I just am in love with these flowers. Now, I've been doing it, yes, the old-fashioned way, and been pulling all the flowers off myself by hand, because this soap to me is going to be very, very special for her. She was talking to me about her childhood, or when she was growing up, and the fields and fields of lavender that would be growing, and she said lavender reminds her of home. So I'm hoping that she likes this gift that I'm making for her. And it's the soap's a little bit different to begin with, so I figured, she deserves something special for the beautiful flowers she gave me. And I'm putting her organic. Now, she does not use any chemicals when she grows her flowers and stuff like that. And I'm going to use a small amount of Lavender Essential Oil. Not a whole lot, because this isn't supposed to be like a really strong scented soap. But these are the lavender flowers so far that I have pulled off of what she gave me. They are just gorgeous. I mean, they're beautiful. Now, mind you, they're going to turn to like a black or brown color in the soap anyways. But I can rub them together, and oh my god, if you could smell this, I wish they had smell-o-vision, because I tell you, the smell here is just unbelievable. My whole kitchen smells like lavenders, and you cannot beat these fresh dried lavenders, because they're just, it's amazing. So that being said, and now that we have some of our lavender flowers, I have all my oils cooled to room temperature, because I'm a soaper who likes to soap at room temperature. And this soap's a little bit different. This is my second soap like this in a brand new series of soaps that I'm making. Now, in here I have coconut oil and palm oil that's been melted. I have rice bran oil. I have a mixture of canola, olive, and I forgot what the other one was. There's avocado in here too, along with a little bit of castor oil. Oh, it's canola, olive, and grapeseed is the mixture of soft oils that went in here, but the hard oils are coconut and palm. Something different that I'm adding to my soaps, and is all part of my new line of soaps, is, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's kombucha. Kombucha, I'm going to move this over here and let you know a little bit. Kombucha, and I'm going to reach over here and show you. This is kombucha tea. What happens is these are Scoobies. And as you can see, I got 3 pretty good sized ones in here. They're a colony of beneficial bacteria and yeast that naturally ferment regular tea, sweet tea. And then when you drink it, you can add herbs, you can add fruits. What it does is it boosts the power of the herbs and fruits that you put into your system. So it's kind of like an immune booster, an energy boosting type of drink. It helps metabolize your system properly, balancing your alkaline and acidity level within your body. It's a digestive aid, but I love this stuff. I make it all the time. And this isn't the juice. This is actually a couple of these Scoobies, because that's where all the concentrated enzymes and bacterias, the good yeast that we need in our intestines and on our skin, to be honest with you. That's what it's like. It's a living culture. These grow. And what they do is, as this starts to ferment more, because I just started this one day before yesterday, so it'll take it about a week to finish, for the kombucha to finish, and then you drink the tea. The Scooby makes more of the kombucha for me, and what happens is after a while you'll get a small thin film across the top here, which is a brand new Scooby forming. These down here are a little bit older. I have one that I actually started with, which she's one of the mother Scoobies that started all of it. And then I got a couple other ones that grew off of those as I left my kombucha sit. But I had an overabundance. I actually had a jar this size filled, top to bottom, with just Scoobies. So that's why I decided to try and make soap with them. Science says, from what I've understood, that yes, some of the bacteria and some of the cultures, now these are good bacteria, they're good for your insides and they're good for your skin. Vitamin B that's naturally in it, and a lot of your probiotics that are in it will survive through the actual process of soap making. How much of it actually does, I haven't had it tested yet, but from what I've done some research on it, and I know that I have read that some people have had theirs tested, and that yes, there is some of the living cultures and positive bacteria that did survive. So this is like a super powered bar soap. It is the natural sugars within here are gonna mix with the oils, and then once the lye mixes with it, it's gonna make it speed up a little. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work fast here, so you're gonna have to bear with me. And this is gonna make a total of approximately 6 pounds of soap. I put my soaps in a PVC tube. No, it's not the regular standard PVC pipe, as you can see. This is a little bit thinner. It's a thinner type of pipe that I use so that it doesn't build up heat so much. However, as soon as I'm done pouring it into my giant mold here, it's going to have to go into the freezer downstairs. It's not going to go through it will go through a gel phase because it will heat up that much. But from past experience of making this soap, which I just made 2 days ago, it's very, very much needed so that it doesn't overheat. So I have my end capped and wrapped up. And so this is my molds all ready. I have my lavender ready to go. I have my lavender oil ready to go. I have my oils ready to go. and I have my pureed Scooby. Now this isn't just a quick puree. This is super smooth. What I did was I put a little bit of the kombucha tea in with it. Not very much, but a little bit. It's come up to 7 ounces of the actual Scooby, which is an actual whole Scooby. And I pureed that with a little bit of the kombucha tea. And what happened was it ended up being really thick. So I took, instead of adding any more water to my mixture, because I like to soap with as minimal water as possible because I like a shorter turnaround time for my soaps. What I did was I took some of my oils, my soft oils from my soap mixture, and I put it into my NutriBullet, and I pureed this into a really soft, smooth, and creamy puree so that there's no chunks of the Scooby in it at all. The only thing that'll be kind of chunky will probably be our lavender flowers that will go into it. But I have my lye water cooled now, and this is how I do it. Everybody's different, and I don't want to lose any of that, like, goodness. So this is my Scooby puree, and it looks chunky, but it's actually very smooth, but it's emulsified. It smells very vinegary because that's what the Scooby is going to smell like. It's going to be like an astringent, but just bear with me for a few. So I'm going to pour this directly into my oils, so that way I have a buffer between it. Then I'm going to add my lye water to the oil and kombucha together. Then I'll add my lavender and my fragrance and mix completely. I will start mixing everything together at a light trace because this is going to speed up pretty fast on me, and it's going to heat up on me too. So I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible, but here goes. And there's our Scooby in. I'm going to give it a quick whisk with my whisk to make sure that it kind of mixes a little bit. Now, Scoobies have approximately a 2, the pH will read at about a 2 to 2.5. So it's going to be it's in a very acidic sort of thing. Your finished soap is going to be anywhere from an 8.5 to an 8 as far as your pH range. Skin's natural pH is at a 7, so this is just a little bit more moisturizing to your skin. Now, we have our oil and we have our Scooby mixed in with it, okay? Now I'm going to take and I'm going to mix the lye. I had it sitting in cold water because I soap at room temperature, which kind of makes this a little bit easier to work with. It doesn't set up quite as fast, but at the same time it will set up it's still going to set up pretty quick on you. Okay? So there's my lye water in. Now I only use 12 ounces now this is 80 ounces of oil, and that was only 12 ounces of water with the necessary 9.8 ounces of lye that was supposed to go with it. Now, like I said, I like to work with very minimal water or fluids in my soap. And I'm going to give it a quick whisk to make sure everything's kind of mixing together in here. I like to do things by hand as much as possible, as you can tell by me going ahead and mixing or pulling our lavender flowers off of the stems. It's more relaxing to me. Now it's going to get a little bit loud because for the next minute or two I'm going to be using my stick blender. Burp it, and as you can see, it's already starting to change to a darker color. Our soap right now is at a very, very thin trace. I'm going to add my fragrance and then the lavender flowers, and you will notice that it'll get really thick. There is the lavender oil. Now, I didn't add too much lavender oil to this because this is actually going to speed it up a little bit more. But the heavenly scent off of this is just amazing. Now here goes our lavender flowers mixed in for that gentle, gentle exfoliation. I wish you could smell this because it is heavenly. We are calling this soap Tranquil. I'm either thinking Tranquil or Peace, and I'm not sure which one I want to do yet. Now we're at I would say a medium trace. It sped up pretty quickly, and I can take you over here to look at it. That is our soap with the lavender in it. It's beautiful. Those flowers just really pop the colors of them. It's probably the most pretty colors I've seen on lavender in a long time. Now I can feel the pots heating up, and this is starting to go to a heavier trace. But the discoloration that was in here before was simply because of the sugars that are in the kombucha or in the Scooby that actually burns. And we all know when sugar cooks, it changes color to like a caramel color. But now this is more to like a yellowish type of color, which it'll actually, when it's done, will be a cream color when the soap is completely cured. But I tell you, if you could be here, oh, it smells heavenly. Between the flowers and the actual oil, lavender oil that's in this, this is absolutely by far one of the most amazing scented soaps I've ever made. And just wait till you feel this on your skin. Your skin's going to love you to death over it. Now I'm going to pour it into the mold, and then I will do the next video about you guys and show you and have it cut. So that'll be tomorrow. Talk to you later.